Now on 4 News Now at 6, dozens of people in Cheney are fighting to save their homes from a new development, their anger and fear of becoming homeless.
Back-to-back weather alert days. The transition to very wintry weather is already underway. I'll tell you when to expect the strongest winds, the heaviest snows, and the coldest air in your first alert forecast.
Best friends, one Ukrainian, one Russian, working together here in Spokane to help people uprooted by the war between their two countries. You're watching 4 News Now at 6. We begin tonight with your first alert forecast and taking a live look from Riverfront Park in downtown Spokane. It is dark and that is glittery, but a cold front is coming in tonight, bringing with it the return of glittering snow and wintry weather. Tomorrow and Wednesday are weather alert days. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kirsten O'Connor. Aaron Luna has the night off. A weather alert day means that there's important information that you need to know for your safety. Our chief meteorologist, Chris Crocker, has the crucial information you're going to want to know.
Well, and Kirsten, this storm is coming with 3 very distinct hazards, one at a time. We're going to start off with very windy weather tonight, and I'll go over the details on that in just a moment. Then the snow coming in for Tuesday. Temperatures begin to plummet late Tuesday and into Wednesday, and it is going to be a windy and cold Wednesday with wind chill readings down around 0. Now, winds across the region right now, strongest gusts in Pullman, 34-mile-per-hour gusts, Moses Lake, as well as in the Spokane area, and that is where we have some advisories and warnings. It is a wind advisory in the area shaded in beige on your screen for up to 50-mile-per-hour gusts, a high wind warning for the area shaded in this mustard color for up to 60-mile-per-hour gusts. That goes all the way through Tuesday at 10 a.m. And once you're into the warning criteria, we really start to look out for tree damage, low visibility while driving, and power outages. Something to keep in mind this evening. You might want to take a moment to gather those supplies if you are down in St. Mary's, in Moscow and Pullman, in the Palouse in general. Forecast wind gusts, they will be peaking about the time everybody is sound asleep, 1 a.m. We see 55-mile-per-hour gusts in Pullman and even stronger down in the Blue Mountains. Those winds will gradually taper off a little bit as we get into tomorrow morning. However, it is still going to be a windy day. Here's 8 a.m. Those winds will die down even a little bit more as we get into the afternoon. However, they're going to be picking back up again, not into the warning range, but enough that once we bring that Arctic air in, you're really going to feel that. Your Tuesday planner, we're going to start off with windy conditions in the morning. We'll hit our high temperature around noon. That's about the time the snow starts. That's about the time our Arctic air starts pushing in. We'll see that temperature plummeting. In just a few minutes, I'll let you know how cold it's going to get and how much snow to expect where you live. That's in just a few minutes, Kirsten.
Chris, thank you. And you can keep a close eye on the incoming storm by downloading the 4 News Now weather app to your phone. Turn on notifications to receive those important weather alerts wherever you are. Search KXLY in the App Store. An update now to breaking news we first brought you last month out of the Palouse. The Whitman County Coroner's Office now says a 19-year-old WSU freshman died by suicide. The office says 19-year-old Luke Tyler had alcohol and a common antidepressant in his system when he was found dead in his dorm on January 22nd. Now, investigators say Tyler suffered acute intoxication due to the combined effects of alcohol and bupropion, commonly prescribed for people with seasonal affective disorder and to help people stop smoking. Well, dozens of people living at a North Cheney mobile home park are fighting to save their homes tonight.
I will be homeless, and if I'm homeless, it's a death sentence for a 73-year-old like myself.
There's a plan in the works to develop the property, but it would mean everyone living there will have to find someplace new to live. The mobile home park sits on a 17-acre lot right along First Street next to the Buy Mart. Peter Choi explains why some fear they could end up homeless if the project moves forward.
People living in this mobile home park in Chini woke up to unexpected news that their homes could soon be displaced to make way for redevelopment. And many of them are low-income families, and some of them said they could be homeless if the redevelopment plan moves forward. Living in the same mobile home for 17 years, Douglas Brunel is retired and on a fixed income.
So this is your home?
This is my home.
On February 13th, at the city's public hearing, he found out that he could be kicked out of the property if the city approves a rezoning plan.
I was angry, extremely angry, because my life, very life, is being threatened by the owner of the trailer park, and by the city of Cheney.
Other neighbors with kids are in desperate need of answers.
It made me really angry because it's like, this is our home. You know, I've asked to buy my house several times just so he doesn't have to repair it. And it's aggravating because now I have to live in concern. If he does tear us out of here, where are we supposed to go?
The city of Cheney says this redevelopment proposal started in October last year.
He's talked about kind of standard multifamily housing. He's talked about some commercial space, some mixed use kind of concept.
So you're saying the city needs more housing for low-income families?
Spokane County needs housing, and there are places for 58 mobile homes in this park, and they're just going to get rid of it. They're getting rid of housing instead of adding housing.
And the city says
Our rules that he has to follow, you know, if he's going to displace these folks. There's an RCW in Washington that actually covers that, and so he has some responsibility to these folks.
now it's up to city council members who are set to vote next Tuesday to decide whether to give final approval. And we reach out to the property owner, and we have not heard back. In Cheney tonight, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
Around the Northwest, 2 lawmakers in Washington state want state and local governments to bring back employees fired because they did not comply with the COVID-19 vaccine mandates put in place during the pandemic. In King County, Council member Reagan Dunn proposed a motion that the council that would prioritize the rehiring of county workers that were dismissed.
Preferential rehiring for those who were terminated because of the vaccine mandate. The truth is, the governments at all levels need those employees back, particularly with our emergency and first responders, like our law enforcement personnel.
At the state level, Republican Representative Chris Corey out of Yakima introduced a House bill that would create hiring preferences for bringing back state workers that were fired and give them a chance to catch up on contributions to the state retirement plan.
We have 100 deputy vacancies here in King County, and crime is at an all-time high. And so what we need are those folks back on the job working hard to keep our community safe.
It's unclear just how much support these efforts will have from Governor Inslee, who strongly backed vaccine mandates for government workers. House Bill 1814 is currently in committee in Olympia. It's not known when it could come up for a vote. A historic day in Ukraine. President Joe Biden made a surprise visit to the war zone capital, meeting with Ukraine's President Zelensky. With blaring air raid sirens and the protection of hundreds of armed military and police officers, President Biden reaffirms U.S. support for Ukraine's nearly year-long fight against Russia.
Freedom is priceless. It's worth fighting for as long as it takes. And that's how long we're going to be with you, Mr. President, for as long as it takes.
The number of people killed in the war is rising as Russia wages street-to-street battles and Ukraine's ammunition and firepower run low. President Biden announced a new $460 million military aid package, including ammunition, anti-armor rockets, and secure communication systems, equipment Ukraine will need as Russia ramps up aerial attacks across the country. The war forced many people to leave their homes in Ukraine. A local nonprofit says as of a couple of months ago, 2,500 Ukrainian refugees have now resettled into the inland Northwest. Our Vanessa Perez has an inspiring story on the work being done to help.
Despite Russia being at war with Ukraine, 2 best friends from both countries have a deep understanding for each other and work every day to achieve one common goal here at World Relief. Erica and her family arrived to America when she was 11. It would be about 15 years later when Russia launched its first missiles into Ukraine, marking the start to the war.
War is not a trend that's just going to appear on Instagram or Facebook and it's just going to be there for a couple days. You post something about it and then you move on with your life. It's not a trend. You should keep informed.
When the war broke out, Erica went to Germany to help translate for her aunt at the U.S. Embassy.
And then I came back and I understood that I have to do something with refugees because I just can't stop checking the news.
She now dedicates her work to helping refugees resettle into housing. Erica's best friend, Eugenia, who happens to be from Russia, inspired her to do.
She's the responsible one. I did not have an idea in my mind that I want to work with refugees when the war started. And I didn't know what I was going to do because I was really lost. I was foggy.
They work together in this office at World Relief and even share a home.
We mostly don't talk about politics in the house, but she knows what I struggle with as my family is in Russia, and I understand. I hear her stories of the people that come from Ukraine, or she knows them personally.
Eugenia immigrated to America at the age of 16. Her parents still live in Russia. Both of these women left their home countries years before the war, now in pursuit of helping others find a better life. Reporting in Spokane, Vanessa Perez, 4 News Now.
Well, coming up on 4 News Now at 6, a thrift store in the South Perry district has neighbors asking a lot of questions. Plus, just one lifestyle change can lower your risk for heart disease. See how you can improve your heart's health after the break.
4 News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
4 News Now is brought to you by Shriners Children's Spokane, the most amazing care anywhere.
Shine 104.9 is important because you never know where people are really at.
In our deepest, darkest moments that we are looking for a light. Shine is one of those ways for me.
I'm just trying to reach other addicts the same way, and one of the first things I tell them is you need to start listening to Christian music.
You made my recovery possible, and I'm sure you're helping many, many people.
I'm just grateful for Shine. It's such a blessing. There's a way to find hope, and it's just flipping your radio dial.
If you've been looking for a new vehicle in the current market, you may be hearing things like extra charges, added accessories, or second sticker.
Not at Coeur d'Alene Honda. We make it easy.
We'll keep you posted till your new Honda arrives, give you a fair value for your trade, and give you a lifetime warranty at no additional cost to you.
Well, that was easy. Come meet the team and purchase your next vehicle at Coeur d'Alene Honda.
And don't forget about our lifetime warranty.
Call today for our available inventory and check out our website at cdahonda.com.
Hey, Greens. How's everything going today?
Hey, Robert. We're good. Just checking in on that car loan we applied for.
No worries. Let me pull that up. Yep. Looks like you're approved and all set.
Hey, that's great news.
So, you headed over to the dealership now?
Yep. Just gotta make one stop first.
And we got a great rate, too.
For over 60 years, McVeigh Brothers Siding and Windows has been supplying the entire region with the very best energy-efficient windows made by the Coeur d'Alene Window Company. As people continue to improve and upgrade their older homes, McVeigh Brothers would love to help by offering our most advanced R4 window package at last year's rates to give you the most energy-efficient windows sold today before the prices go up. We understand people are spending more time in their homes, so we want to do our part in making it as comfortable as possible.
Well, keeping your heart healthy is important at any age and any time of year. According to Providence, heart diseases like coronary artery disease can affect people as young as age 20. Heart disease is preventable, but genetics and lifestyle choices play a major role in everyone's risk for heart disease. 4 News Now's Destiny Richards shows us one big lifestyle change that can lower your risk and improve your heart's health.
Exercise is like medicine.
But even if you're not sick, you still need a dose.
Exercise can lower your blood pressure, it can control your weight, it can prevent or control diabetes, it can manage stress and decrease inflammation in the body, and it can strengthen your muscles.
Nicole LaFord is a registered dietitian and cardiophysiologist at Providence. She says regular exercise is a way to help prevent heart issues from happening. But for some people, it's necessary to bounce back after a cardiac event or procedure.
So you want to do about 10 to 15 of these, 1 to 3 times through.
At Providence St. Luke's Rehabilitation Center, I experienced how patients here get their exercise.
We allow up to 30 minutes for cardio, and that could be on the treadmill, the bicycle. We have an arm cycle and kind of a stepping machine. And then we do strength training, stretching, so kind of all types of exercise in cardiac rehab.
Seeing people here to recover after a heart attack or heart surgery just shows how important it is to never miss a beat when it comes to daily exercise.
So at least 150 minutes per week is the recommendation, but anything is better than nothing, so just do as much as you can.
That's 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. LaFord says even though February is American Heart Month, it's never too late or too early to start.
It's a great time to be thinking about heart health, but it's also important to consider all year long. So just get active and get moving. You know, move more and sit less.
And that was our Destiny Richards reporting. For more information on ways to lower your risk for heart disease, see this story on KXLY.com.
We're thinking of some indoor activities for that exercise over the next few days. Tomorrow, it's going to be windy and wet at times. Our chance of precipitation really picking up in the afternoon. Maybe a rain-snow mix at first, but more likely snow. I'll let you know how much to expect where you live after the break.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Saving you green.
Satay Bistro, Coeur d'Alene's culinary extravaganza of American fusion dining. From our extensive wine cellar to our unforgettably decadent menu, we'll move your experience beyond ordinary to the extraordinary. Satay Bistro, just off the 4th Street exit in Coeur d'Alene.
I'm Jonah, and I'd like to welcome you to the brand new Coeur d'Alene Nissan. You'll find the grand dealership lobby open, comfortable, and relaxing. A service center with state-of-the-art equipment committed to getting you quickly and safely back on the road. There's much more to experience. I'm inviting you to stop in and see us. We're just off Highway 95 in Coeur d'Alene.
Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning is your family-owned and operated #1 HVAC contractor in the Northwest. Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning would like to introduce our own carbon reduction program. Buy a new energy-efficient furnace from Bill's Heating and receive a heat pump with installation absolutely free. No hidden fees, no conditions, no exceptions. Buy a furnace, get a free heat pump from Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call today for estimates and repairs.
Home is where you hang your hat, snuggle up, hide out. Home is when you're with the ones you love. It isn't just a place, it's a state of mind. At Idaho Central Credit Union, our home is Idaho. We grew up here, and we're proud to help more Idahoans with their home loan than any other financial institution. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe home is where you make it.
It is warm across the region right now. 43 in Spokane. We had a beautiful sunset, some clearing off to the west. In Coeur d'Alene, 43, getting a few sprinkles right now at the US 95 and I-90 camera. We've got some showers blowing off of the mountains to the south as our winds are picking up around the region. Otherwise, it's drying out across the region. The exceptions being in the central Panhandle Mountains, and the snow is piling up in the Cascades. Here's our forecast radar starting off at our current time, and you'll notice the best chance of precipitation for the overnight is going to be in the Panhandle Mountains. However, right around midnight, we may have a sprinkle or two. Temperatures are going to stay well above freezing overnight, so most likely in the form of rain around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Starting to see some snow crossing the Cascades onto the east slopes. As we get into tomorrow morning, we find more snow from Coeur d'Alene north into the northeast mountains and North Idaho. So we may have a little bit of light snow through the morning commute. Meanwhile, by 4 o'clock tomorrow evening, we'll have more widespread snow and the potential for a tricky evening commute. And that snow will continue through the evening and will finally taper off by Wednesday morning. Here's a look at some of the initial snowfall forecasts. Up to a foot of snow around Lookout Pass. We'll see heavier totals around St. Mary's, Coeur d'Alene, decreasing as we head north. Right in Spokane in the 1 to 3 inch range, with quite a bit less further to the east into the Columbia Basin. We have a winter storm warning for the area shaded in purple, the central Panhandle Mountains. It is a winter weather advisory for the northeast mountains and North Idaho, but right now that does not include the Spokane or Coeur d'Alene area. About the time that snow is starting to really pick up tomorrow evening, our cold front is going to be coming through. Here's 6 o'clock tomorrow. After hitting our high sometime around noon, we will already be dropping into the teens in Bonners Ferry and Sandpoint, the 20s in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, and watch as our temperatures drop through Wednesday morning down into the single digits and low teens in many locations. And then we do not warm up much during the day on Wednesday, with a breeze going throughout the day as well. It's going to feel even cooler. By 6 o'clock Wednesday, we could be at 15 degrees in Spokane. Again, we're at 43 right now, so that's quite a drop. Here's a look at your planning forecast. Some snow tomorrow. We're dry, but the potential for blowing snow on Wednesday as the windy conditions continue after a lull Tuesday evening. Temperatures bottom out Thursday morning, but it's not much of a warm-up through Friday. More moderate temperatures for the weekend, but also the potential for more snow. Slight chance Saturday and Monday, with a better chance on Sunday. These temperatures are still running below average, even though they are warming up. Our average high is in the 40s, Kirsten.
It is going to be cold. Thank you, Chris. Well, President's Day is observed every year on the third Monday in February, and it has a long history, starting with George Washington. In the decades following Washington's death, his birthday was unofficially observed every year. But in 1879, it joined existing bank holidays. Washington's birthday didn't officially become President's Day until much later, with the Uniform Monday Holiday Act shifting holidays to fall on Mondays, creating more three-day weekends. And coming up, one little girl's heart has a special story to tell in today's Miracle Monday. And people living near Ohio's toxic train derailment are scared for their health, how they're trying to avoid getting sick after the break.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Happy Take and Bake Tuesday!
Every Tuesday at Papa Murphy's, you can get any large pizza for just $12, which makes Tuesday the best day to bring home all your favorites.
We might have too many favorites.
Order now at papamurphys.com.
Feel more connected to every fleeting moment. The Mazda CX-30 with available turbo engine. An IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. More power for your pursuit.
Embrace every unexpected turn in the all-wheel drive Mazda CX-30. We have over 60 Mazdas in stock now at Foothills Mazda. Take yours home today or visit SpokaneMazda.com.
You may be eligible for a new tax refund called the Working Families Tax Credit from the Washington State Department of Revenue. Those who qualify could get up to $1,200 back. Visit workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
From the beautiful craftsmanship of cabinets to the stylish looks of granite, quartz, and marble countertops, Northwest Granite has the staff and selection to help you transform your home, office, or cabin into the place of your dreams. Northwest Granite.
My name is Jennifer, and this is my Summit Cancer Center story. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in November of 2015. Getting a cancer diagnosis is literally like having the rug pulled out from underneath you. When I'm at Summit Cancer Centers, I feel like they're kind of part of my family in a sense. They've always had my best interests in mind, so I'm actually very hopeful for the future. I would recommend Summit Cancer Center.
It's a February four-wheel drive sale this week at Cal.
Where for 4 days only, Cal is dropping the prices on four-wheel drives. Plus, giving you an extra $400 for your trade-in.
So you can get a new vehicle in the new year from Cal.
It's been 10 years since this joyful morning.
I have been waiting 174 days to say this. Good morning, America.
Now, join Robin as she pays it forward with people across the country to help someone in need. Tomorrow morning, celebrate Robin on GMA.
Papa Murphy's presents How to Change the Way You Pizza. Step 1, grab a delicious Papa Murphy's pizza. Step 2, bake. Step 3, chow down on the deliciousness. Right now, get the Murphy's Combo Pizza for just $12.99 at papamurphys.com.
4 News Now is brought to you by Floor Trader Outlet.
Officials in East Palestine, Ohio say that the water is safe to drink following the release of chemicals in a train derailment, but many are not taking any chances using bottled water to drink and even cook. Some people have reported feeling sick after that toxic train derailment. Now the Ohio Department of Health is opening a clinic in the area. CNN's Jason Carroll has more on the health concerns people are reporting.
2 weeks after the Norfolk Southern train derailment and the controlled release of chemicals by the company that followed, residents in East Palestine, Ohio, are increasingly worried about what's in their air, water, and soil.
When we think about the chemicals that we know have been released, they are known carcinogens. Vinyl chloride is a carcinogen. We have to look at the health impacts to our vulnerable populations.
I'm Senator Doug Mastriano. I'm south of East Palestine, Ohio, ground zero.
Public health concerns now shared in the neighboring state of Pennsylvania.
Look at these chemicals. Look at these colors. These chemicals, and it has kind of a butane smell to it.
The governor of Ohio says air quality tests in more than 500 homes showed no detection of contaminants. Officials also say public water is safe, while private well water users should stick with bottled water for now. Despite those guarantees, the toxic chemical spill is still causing uproar and criticism directed at Norfolk Southern.
Everything that's happened here, all the cleanup, all the drilling, all the testing, all the hotel stays, all of that is on Norfolk Southern. They caused it. There's no question they caused it with this derailment.
In addition to the thousands of fish found dead after the derailment, CNN has learned that 2 horses are being treated for smoke inhalation after the controlled burn, according to the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture. Standing by their decision, Norfolk Southern CEO says the burn was the right thing to do.
I think we did what we needed to do in order to prevent an uncontrolled explosion.
The federal government has deployed medical experts to help assess health concerns. People in this community have been reporting problems such as rashes and nausea. The CDC also confirmed it will send a team to assess public health needs. But that is not stopping what some are calling the Biden administration's slow response to the disaster. On Sunday, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg responded with a letter to Norfolk Southern CEO writing, "Major derailments in the past have been followed by calls for reform and by vigorous resistance by your industry to increase safety measures. This must change."
The Catholic community in Los Angeles is mourning the loss of a bishop shot to death in his home. Auxiliary Bishop David O'Connell was found dead Saturday from a gunshot wound to the chest. Parishioners are now honoring the man who served the community for 45 years.
Very hurt by his passing. 45 years. 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 because he's one of the most lovable, humble persons I've ever met.
O'Connell, who was originally from Ireland, is also being remembered as a peacemaker who served the poor and the immigrant community. In the investigation, the LA County Sheriff's Department says a man is now in custody. Coming up on 4 News Now at 6:30, when do you give your kids fever medication? A new study finds that some parents are giving it too soon. Plus,
this area here behind me is in the South Perry district and right next to the South Side Church of Christ. When I spoke to neighbors, they tell me there's commotion at all hours of the night. And according to an online website, it is a 24-hour thrift store. We're going to be talking more about this coming up in just a few minutes.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Here we grow again. Even more fun is headed to Spokane Tribe Casino. You love Caesars Sportsbook, the Grill and Bar, and larger variety of games we recently added. Gear up for a new food court, a completely smoke-free gaming area, a state-of-the-art entertainment venue, and more. Things just keep getting better. This February, you could win $5,000 cash or a trip to the last 4 games of the college basketball tournament in Houston, Texas. Only at Spokane Tribe Casino. You just win here.
At Mazda, we engineer confidence behind the wheel for all our drivers. The fact that the 2023 Mazda CX-5 remains the only small SUV in its class to achieve the highest rating in the new IIHS Side Impact Crash Test as of July 2022 ensures this confidence also extends to our passengers.
The all-wheel drive Mazda CX-5 was built for the Pacific Northwest. We have over 60 Mazdas in stock now at Foothills Mazda. Take yours home today or visit SpokaneMazda.com.
Living in the Inland Northwest has its advantages, and one of those is working with amazing people who dedicate their time and efforts to help others. STCU's Volunteers Count is a program to say thank you for this service and inspire others to give back too. Please tell us about a volunteer at a local nonprofit that inspires you. Go to KXLY.com/volunteerscount and nominate them. Help us showcase those people who give of their time and truly make a difference. Volunteers Count, brought to you by 4 News Now and STCU.
Vroom, vroom. Oh, don't worry. I'll make sure to leave plenty of space when I pass by. I think 200 feet is right here. Thank you. That looks safe to me. And if I can't move over, I promise I'll slow down at least 10 miles an hour below the speed limit or no more than 50 miles an hour. You promise? Promise.
We want everyone to get home at the end of the day. When you see vehicles with flashing lights or people working on the side of the road, move over or slow down.
Next ET.
Working out.
And Dolly we trust.
Just a working gal that came from nowhere and really made dreams come true.
An entire episode of ET devoted to all things Dolly Parton.
Not a thing wrong with that.
What you never knew about the icon, her career milestones, signature style, and 56-year marriage.
I love the old guy. He's the only one I've ever wanted and the only one I'll ever have, I'm sure.
Next ET.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
A live look from over our sky cam in Spokane. The transition to very wintry weather in the inland Northwest has already begun. Wind, cold, and snow are coming this week, making for back-to-back weather alert days tomorrow and Wednesday. That means there's important information that you need to know for your safety. Let's go straight to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker for your forecast.
Well, and it comes in that order. Our weather alert day, very windy conditions first, followed by snowy conditions, followed by brutally cold conditions. I'll show you the numbers later in the news, but first we want to talk about the winds because that's the hazard that is happening now and will continue through the overnight. We are experiencing wind gusts in excess of 30 miles per hour in some locations, with the strongest gusts in Pullman, Moses Lake, and Spokane. Down on the Palouse, that is where we are expecting the strongest gusts tonight, and those will be peaking in the early part of the overnight. It is a high wind warning warning for the Palouse from the Plummer area down through Moscow and Pullman toward the Tri-Cities with gusts up to 60 miles per hour. It's a wind advisory for the area shaded in beige on your screen, which includes Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, and it continues through Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. However, we are going to be seeing the strongest gusts just after midnight. Here's a look at our computer model forecast, 1 a.m., showing those dark browns indicating wind gusts in the 50-mile-per-hour range. Then things start to taper off a little bit as we get into tomorrow morning. It's not going to be calm by any means. In fact, expect breezy conditions through the day tomorrow, even as those wind gusts die down in the afternoon. They'll be picking up again. Now, temperatures right now are in the 40s and even the 50s in some locations. We will keep our temperatures above freezing overnight, warming up into the near 40-degree range by about noon, and then things start to drop along with the snow that will be dropping. I'll let you know how much snow is going to be expected where you live. Plus, we'll go over the wind chill readings that we are going to be seeing with this system as we get into Tuesday night and Wednesday. That's coming up in your forecast. Kirsten.
Chris, thank you. New at 6:30 tonight, we've covered several stories of nuisance properties throughout the Spokane area, and occasionally these situations can escalate to the point where Spokane police can abate the nuisance. Well, now an area that has been problematic for years in the South Perry district has neighbors asking questions. Our Emily Bloom spoke to them today.
This area here behind me is in the South Perry district and right next door to the South Side Church of Christ. As you can see, a bunch of junk and trash piling up in that yard. Neighbors tell me it is an eyesore, but they're more concerned about the commotion that begins after the sun sets. Michelle Hoy has lived across the street from this area for 2 years, and she says it's been problematic from the start of her time here.
When the sun goes down, the lights come on in the spotlights, and we hear yelling and sometimes fighting at night.
Spokane police confirmed there was a chronic nuisance notice issued back in 2020. They say to continue to pursue this as a nuisance property, they need a paper trail.
I'm kind of afraid of more retaliation from him because one day we were on our porch and he came out on a bike in a weird looking mask and looked directly at us as he was riding his bike by. It was creepy.
While some people are more comfortable giving anonymous statements or complaints, those don't help.
They do hold church on Sundays and about 4 people come.
Online, the address of this church is tied to a 24-hour thrift store.
That's ridiculous. People would stop by with their kids, and they would walk in there, and the guy would come out yelling at them. It was very strange.
SPD recently did reorganization within the department, and they say all officers should be working as neighborhood resource officers. If you are having any issues in your own area, the best thing that you can do is report it to Crime Check. When I called that 24-hour thrift store, they told me that they're closed right now because of a recent flood. Reporting in the South Perry district, Emily Bloom, 4 News Now.
Emily, thank you. We have a consumer alert tonight on bottled Starbucks drinks. More than 300,000 Starbucks vanilla Frappuccino bottles are being recalled because they might contain glass. The recalled drinks have the expiration dates of March 8th, May 29th, June 4th, and 10th. Distributor PepsiCo has issued the warning to retailers and consumers. And there's also a consumer alert for a popular brand of baby formula. The voluntary recall affects 2 batches of its Enfamil Pro Sobe formula. Some know better as their plant-based lactose-free formula, saying that bacteria may have contaminated 145,000 cans. The company says so far there is no evidence the bacteria made its way into the formula, and there are no reports of babies becoming sick. A new poll shows that many parents give fever-reducing medication to their kids too soon when it's not needed. Researchers found that 1 in 3 parents give their kids the medicine for a low-grade fever, which is anything below 100 degrees. Pediatricians are warning against using fever reducers in this way because they say the medicine hides the true problem, the cause of the fever. The poll also says about 26% of parents will even give a second dose of the medicine to prevent a fever. Pediatricians say to avoid doing that also. Congenital heart disease affects 1 out of every 100 babies born. It's more common than childhood cancers, and every heart disease diagnosis affects every family in a different way. In this Miracle Monday, Sydney Charles tells us the story of one little girl whose heart has a special story of her own.
The Kelly family says no one could prepare them to be parents of a cardiac patient, but they say the team at Providence Sacred Heart Children's Hospital helped them do just that.
She's fun. She loves to read.
Sassy, spunky, crazy little lady. Huh? Are you crazy?
Abigail Kelly is just like any other 2-year-old. But before Abigail was born, Cora and Joe Kelly got news no parent wants to hear.
The doctors noticed that something in her heart was not developing right, and so they referred us on to the doctors at Maternal Fetal Medicine here at Sacred Heart.
Abigail spent the first 4 days of her life in the NICU at the Sacred Heart Children's Hospital. Then she had a heart catheter procedure to try and give her heart a fighting chance.
After that, it was a waiting game in the hospital for another 2 weeks to see if that procedure worked.
That surgery didn't work. And when Abigail was just 18 days old, the team at Sacred Heart decided to do an open heart surgery.
We didn't expect to end up there. It was tough emotionally. I will say, though, the staff is amazing. The nurses in the NICU and in the PICU, they're so loving, caring, kind.
Providing that extra care is something the staff pride themselves in.
Kids with congenital heart disease or sometimes acquired heart disease have a lot going on. What we're trying to do is allow people to get quality care near where they're at.
With support from the Sacred Heart team, the Kelly family was able to take their baby girl home 9 days later.
That's when she started to recover, and we got to cuddle her and hold her, and her heart was finally doing what it needed to do.
The Kelly family can finally give Abigail what they've always wanted: a normal childhood.
She'll go to school, she'll play sports, she'll just be like any other kid, really. Yes.
Although Abigail will have follow-ups and even other surgeries, the Kelly family says they will continue to put one foot in front of the other and remind each other just how lucky they are. If you'd like to support the Children's Miracle Network, you can find the donation page under this story on KXLY.com. 100% of your donation stays right here in our own community. Reporting in studio, Sydney Charles, 4 News Now.
Thank you, Sydney. Well, still to come after the break, you might want to get a head start on vacation planning, how to get the best deals today. And the Gonzaga Bulldogs continued their slow climb in the latest AP Top 25 polls. Coming up in sports, Alex Crescenti shows us just how many spots they jumped, as well as how the other teams in our region fared this weekend.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Tin Roof.
This is Ford Truck Month, America. Time to get into Ford F-150. All amped up and ready for work or play. Get 0 for 36 plus $3,000 low APR cash on a 2022 F-150 XLT at your local Ford dealer.
Want to do a little spinning and winning at the Kootenai Casino? Play our February Hot Spins Thursday through Sunday. Win there and you'll move on to Friday, Saturday Super Spins drawings. Then get a shot at the big money drawing. Book a midweek room at the Kootenai Falls Lodge for just $59 or a midweek Riverview room for just $89. Hot Spins, Super Spins, and Final Cash giveaway. We're winning and spinning at the Kootenai Casino. Call 888-YOU-ARE-LUCKY or visit KootenaiRiverInn.com.
Home is where you hang your hat, snuggle up, hide out. Home is when you're with the ones you love. It isn't just a place, it's a state of mind. At Idaho Central Credit Union, our home is Idaho. We grew up here, and we're proud to help more Idahoans with their home loan than any other financial institution. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe home is where you make it.
RV show pricing continues now at R&R RV in Liberty Lake. Yes, every RV in stock at R&R RV Liberty Lake is show priced. You'll save thousands with rebates and show discounts on Cougar, Rockwood, Montana, Class B vans, and more. Everything show priced. Now at R&R RV in Liberty Lake. Shop online at rnrrv.com or visit R&R RV in Liberty Lake, Eastern Washington's largest RV dealer.
Ford Escape. It offers bliss with cross-traffic alert. And it's an IIHS top safety pick. It's built for America. Get 0 for 36 months plus $1,000 low APR cash on an in-stock 2022 Escape only at your local Ford dealer.
YouTube uproar. Next, Inside Edition. They're cute. They're super popular. Over 1 billion views. But did some videos go too far?
Were you ever asked to pose provocatively or to wear things you were uncomfortable wearing?
Inside Edition investigates. Then, the silver wave. Sky-high demand for older models. Senior and still sexy. Next, Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
Here are 4 things to know about your weather. It is going to be very windy overnight. It is already windy across the region, and those winds are going to continue to pick up through the first part of the overnight. Snow is on the way for Tuesday. Our temperatures will plummet starting tomorrow night all the way through Thursday morning, and it is going to be a cold and windy Wednesday. We're not going to be dealing with as strong of winds as we will see overnight tonight, but it is going to be enough to take our wind chill values below 0. Forecast radar, we're going to see some snow in the central panhandle tonight, possibly a little bit of rain around the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area overnight, some hit and miss showers. Temperatures will stay above freezing overnight. Then as we get into tomorrow morning, a better chance of snow through the northeast mountains and the central panhandle. There is a winter storm warning in effect for the central panhandle. I'll show you that in just a moment. Snow will continue to develop in extreme eastern Washington and North Idaho through the day tomorrow and into tomorrow evening. Things will finally start to taper off early Wednesday morning, and we'll be drying out through the day on Wednesday. Here's a look at some of the snowfall totals that we are estimating currently. This is a work in progress. This is a very complicated system that is moving through actually a series of systems up to a foot in Lookout Pass. Looking at 1 to 3 around Spokane with higher totals in Coeur d'Alene and St. Mary's. As we head east into the Columbia Basin, the totals go down. But once you're into the Cascades, we're expecting heavy snow and a winter storm warning there. It's a winter weather advisory in the northeast mountains and North Idaho. The heaviest snow with this system in the central panhandle. Winds tomorrow, they are going to peak in the early morning hours and then begin decreasing. These are sustained winds, not the gusts, bottoming out between 2 and 6 o'clock, but then they'll be picking up again. Now, this is our forecast wind chill. By this time tomorrow, already looking at below 0 wind chills in Sandpoint. By Wednesday early morning, below 0 in many locations from Coeur d'Alene up through Bonners Ferry and Colville. Through the day on Wednesday, the wind chill readings will be in the single digits. Here's this time Wednesday, 6 below in Coeur d'Alene, 16 below in Sandpoint, feeling like 2 in Spokane. Below 0 wind chills in Ritzville, Moses Lake, St. Mary's, and Kellogg. Here's early Thursday morning. Feels like 6 below in Spokane. Our actual air temperature Thursday morning, only 5 degrees. We're heading up to a high of 18. We'll be done with the snow by Wednesday morning, although blowing snow may be a problem on Wednesday. Dry all the way until we get to Saturday, and that's when we really start warming up. Kirsten.
I just got a comment from Tammy on Facebook. She says, well, to be fair, it is still February.
That is fair. Thank you, Tammy.
Well, some good news for spring breakers and those who want to get a head start on vacation planning. You can still grab great deals on travel. According to the online booking site Hopper, round-trip domestic tickets now average $264, up 20% from a year ago and up 5% 8% from pre-pandemic levels. Scott Keys from the travel site Going says it's still not too late to lock in a deal.
Rather than choosing the destination you want to go to and then hoping and praying that a cheap flight pops up, see where are there cheap flights available over that spring break week.
After peaking in May, airfares have actually come down in 5 of the past 8 months, and Keys says there's reason to believe they'll continue to fall. But hey, if you're thinking about summer travel already, it doesn't mean it's going to be on sale. Experts say the later you wait to book for summer, the more you'll pay. Here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Life happens, and you can't always wait for 2-day free shipping. Instead, head to your local Ace hardware store, where we've got just what you need in stock right now. Our experts give you the knowledge and personal touch you can't find online. And when you need help fixing your broken screen, unclogging that drain, need an extra key made, or that hard-to-find nut or bolt, we're right around the corner with the helpful advice and products you need without the wait.
Our priorities, they've changed.
Hey Lexus, play my music.
It's not just about getting ahead or the constant grind. It's about knowing what you want.
Watch for traffic.
And focusing on what matters. Welcome to the next level. This is the Lexus NX. With intuitive tech and our most advanced safety system ever.
So we recently partnered up with Ben Gregg of the Gonzaga Bulldogs to help us spread the word about our Zags Win, You Win promotion. And next time I'll bet he'll read the fine print.
It's not all bad. Turns out I have a natural talent for heating and cooling. Zags win, you win.
For a limited time only, get a new John Deere 1023E compact utility tractor with a 120E loader for only $199 per month. Take advantage of this exclusive offer for low monthly payments on top-of-the-line equipment that gets the job done, backed by our consistent quality customer service. Hurry in to your local Pape Machinery, Ag, and Turf store today to cash in on these limited time offers and get your property ready for the spring ahead. Pape keeps you moving.
Hello, I'm Lloyd Herman. If you need legal assistance due to an accident or an injury, put my 40 years of experience of dealing with the insurance companies to work for you. You'll have an appointment to speak to me within 48 hours. Lloyd Herman & Associates, 922-6600.
The icy winds of winter are here. Whether you're heading up to the slopes or just traveling through a mountain pass, you need a vehicle that can handle the icy conditions. Stay in control with trucks, and more trucks from Northwest Motorsport.
4 News Now is brought to you by Move Fitness.
With less than 3 weeks to go until Selection Sunday, the Gonzaga men are currently projected into the 3 seed in the West region as they would be traveling to Des Moines, Iowa for the first 2 rounds, but they still have some time to improve their standing. And today, the team continued to rise in the Associated Press Top 25 poll. The Bulldogs coming in at number 12, up 1 spot from last week, thanks to their dominant win against Loyola Marymount on Thursday night, and then they escaped with a win against Pepperdine on Saturday evening. The team only has 3 games left in the regular season, but the good news is they can certainly bolster their resume if they can beat St. Mary's this upcoming Saturday. But first things first, they've got to take care of business against San Diego, who they are facing for the first time this season on Thursday night. And the Gonzaga women also up in the latest AP poll to number 18 in the country, which is 2 spots better than last week. They're coming off a big weekend, which saw them sweep the Pacific and St. Mary's for the final home games of the season. With those wins, the Bulldogs finished the year with a perfect 15-0 record at home and only have lost 1 conference game.
That's something that we're always trying to protect, whether it's a tough game and any type of game, we're always trying to come here and play our best here, because at the end of the day, this is our place, this is our home, so protecting our home kind of comes with just playing good and playing well every single game and showing up. So I feel like that's something that we were able to keep consistent this season.
The Zags will now wrap up the regular season on the road as they'll travel down to San Diego on Thursday evening, and they can clinch at least a share of the WCC title with a win. Over in Cheney, the Eastern Washington men were once again left out of the top 25 voting despite owning the nation's longest winning streak at 17 games. The Eagles also clinched a share of the Big Sky regular season championship on Saturday afternoon with their 89-77 win over Northern Colorado, and this team has certainly come a long way after being projected to finish 5th in the Big Sky by both the coaches and the media, and they started the season with a 2-5 record.
There's been games where I haven't had as much success, but I still am happy and cherishing the moment because we're winning, you know, and that's genuinely all I care about is us winning, you know. I know people preseason didn't think we would be here, but we all did, you know, and to be here and to prove everybody that we actually are this good and we actually can, you know, keep playing and keep doing things in March, I think it's huge.
The Eagles can claim the Big Sky outright and clinch the #1 seed in the conference tournament with a win against Weber State on Thursday night. And it was senior day down in Pullman as the Washington State women honored 3 student athletes before their game against Oregon State. And they kept their NCAA tournament hopes alive by going and getting a 67-57 win against the Beavs. In the latest ESPN bracketology, Washington State is listed as one of the last 4 teams receiving a bye into the tournament. And they certainly helped their case this weekend, sweeping the Ducks and the Beavers for the first time in more than 30 years.
I think it was huge for our confidence since, I guess, what happened on the road for us went 0-2 in the mountain schools, but being able to bounce back and come home to get 2 wins was huge moving forward into the LA schools. I think we're confident now. People are starting to feel better about themselves and about each other, and
Wazoo will finish out the regular season with a trip down to Southern California. First up will be a matchup with number 17 UCLA on Thursday night. 4 News Now, we'll be right back.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Injured in a car, truck, or motorcycle wreck?
Call Russell & Hill, attorneys at law.
Where real people
with real injuries
get real results.
Injured in a car, truck, or motorcycle wreck?
Get real results.
Get Russell & Hill.
You want to know why I call South Carolina home? Come on, take a road trip with me. When you look around, you can really get a sense of why I love my home state. From the beaches all the way up to the beautiful mountains, South Carolina's got awesome scenery, cool cities, rich culture, and super friendly people. Of course, the best thing you can do is come down to South Carolina and find your own favorite places. Come see why I love this place.
Hey, Greens. How's everything going today?
Hey, Robert. We're good. Just checking in on that car loan we applied for.
No worries. Let me pull that up. Yep. Looks like you're approved and all set.
Hey, that's great news.
So, you headed over to the dealership now?
Yep. Just gotta make one stop first.
And we got a great rate, too.
The Bachelor touches down in London town.
Hello, Zachary. Would you like to kiss me?
But who won't keep calm?
Today is Zach's worst nightmare.
And carry on.
I'm gonna hyperventilate.
One of the best kept secrets in Spokane is the little granite and cabinet store that does most of the biggest remodels and new construction. Northwest Granite.
Northwest Granite is known for their incredible selection of unique granite, marble, and quartz countertop options that bring captivating, attractive looks to any room in your home.
From quality flooring to a variety of cabinets and exotic countertops, Northwest Granite is the one-stop shop that does it all.
Chevy Silverado factory-lifted trucks. With the capability of a 2-inch lift, the versatility of the available multi-flex tailgate, and the connection of a 13.4-inch diagonal touchscreen. Chevy Silverado, taking adventure to a whole new level.
Get 2.99% financing for 5 years on all 2022 Silverado 1500 pickups, or get $2,250 total cash allowance on this Silverado with a 2.7-liter engine. Plus, current competitive owners get an additional $750 cash allowance.
4 News Now is brought to you by Medicare509.com.
Back-to-back weather alert days. I have a hunch Thursday seems like one as well. We're going to be looking at sub-zero wind chills Thursday morning. Tomorrow it is the snow. Tonight the wind. High wind warning for the Palouse through 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
All right, so if you have the snow blower somewhere that you haven't been using it lately, got to get that figured out.
Yes.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.